This episode was filmed at the 13 Trees Coffee House in New Braunfels. To see upcoming events at the 13 Trees, scan the QR code below. If your business would like to be featured on the HCMG podcast, feel free to reach us at hillcountrymusician@gmail.com. We feature the songs and stories of local musicians every week. Thanks for watching and supporting local live music.
Hey folks at home, this is Joe with the Hill Country Musicians Guild. We have another great guest that is going to be joining us. A lot of great stuff has been happening this past week, and then also some sad things as well. Our hearts and our sympathies go out to the Gray family. Derek was a great guy, and it was just nice to get to know him for the few months that I did get to know him. He was a great man. So love and best wishes out for his family. But I'd like to turn it now to a great songwriter, full of energy. I got a chance to play with her at Green's Last Call just a couple of weeks ago, and it was so much fun. It's some of the most fun I've had performing in quite some time. So I'm going to turn it over to her right now. Please welcome Melanie Lashus.
Hey y'all, I'm Melanie. As Joe said, I'm actually a pretty new songwriter. I wrote my very first ever song exactly 1 year ago this month, and it was after a real surprising breakup. And I have found songwriting to be a great cathartic healing experience. And I'm kind of also in a little bit of a theme still with the songwriting, and so a lot of my stuff is breakup songs and songs about how frustrated I am with dating. So most of them are meant to be humorous, so it's okay to chuckle at the lyrics. And so the song that I'm going to play right now is pretty self-explanatory. It's called "How's He Supposed to Find Me If I Never Leave the House?"
Someday I'd like to meet a guy, be out somewhere and catch his eye, but I don't wanna go out and look tonight. I worked hard all day and I wanna unwind in my yoga pants with a glass of wine and a towel. But how's he supposed to find me if I never leave the house? Someday I'd like to have a man, go on a date and hold his hand, but it takes so long to shave these legs, do my hair up and all that mess. I worked hard all day and I wanna unwind, soak in the tub with a glass of wine and a towel. But how's he supposed to find me if I never leave the house? Someday I'd like to find a guy and give love another try, but the bars and clubs are just so loud. Why go out and fight the crowd? I worked hard all day and I wanna unwind, I'd rather read a book with a glass of wine anyhow. But how's he supposed to find me if I never leave the house? Well, I love my crafts and recipes, I can DIY like HCMG, and yet I like to stay at home. Guess it's just easier to be alone. So me and the dog have final time on the couch. Yeah, we will. But how's he supposed to find me? Oh, how's he supposed to find me? He ain't gonna find me if I never leave the house.
I mean, who wants to put a bra on anyway?
Awesome. Oh man, that's great.
It's harder to play for an empty room than a full one. Wow.
Well, yeah, that like, oh, the voice that I'm hearing prominent the most is mine bouncing back off of the walls at me. But that's okay. You did a great job. You have a fantastic voice. And yeah, actually, I think that there needs to be one small correction listed in that song. You have 2 dogs, don't you?
I do.
Yeah, what are the name of your dogs?
Harlow and Haley.
Harlow and Haley.
My little girls, yeah.
Now
They're my biggest fans. They're my captive audience every day.
They get to hear you play every day.
Yeah, they do. One day I'll have to write a song about them.
Yeah, I have some insider knowledge on them. They are adorable, and I've had some fun playing with them while helping you go to your new place. So that's so cool.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Oh, my pleasure. I guess the big thing that just happened with you was the Ladies Songwriters Festival.
Yeah.
How did that go?
So there was a Texas Women Songwriter Festival. It was the first annual event. There will be more. Mm-hmm. And it was put on by a bunch of great sponsors. Mandy Rowden of Girl Guitar was the coordinator for the festival. And there were 54 women recording artists, songwriters that played their original music across 9 stages in Lockhart,
Amazing.
Texas last weekend. Yeah, I was not one of those 54 women. I was one of 9 women who are girl guitar students who played on the girl guitar stage at the end of the festival. So we got to close it out, and I got to play 3 original songs to a packed house, and it was a great experience.
For me, I'm trying to conceptualize. There was a bunch of different stages then.
Yeah.
And were they like in different tiers or something like that?
Yeah, so the downtown Lockhart is like a square, and there were bars and restaurants and the library and government buildings that all had places for performances to happen, and they all chipped in, and all of downtown Lockhart came together, and there were different businesses and bars and restaurants, the public library and some other buildings. So I got to volunteer, and I helped MC some of the concerts and introduce some of the songwriters on Saturday, and the venue I was posted at was actually an art gallery. So it was really nice. Like, you could walk to all of the different nine venues.
Is this something that you'd like to do in the future?
Yeah, I could see, like as I grow in my musical journey, someday being one of the ladies on the big stage at that festival. Yeah.
And yeah, speaking of your musical journey, it feels like, like you said, this is kind of a very new venture for you.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like it though. It sounds like, there's been a lot of time and effort put into it. Like, I feel like you're in a position that it took me many years to get to. So that's pretty cool.
Thank you. I appreciate that observation. So I'm not new to music. I've played piano since I was a little kid, and I've played covers. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of new to guitar. I've only been playing guitar, I guess, about 4 years now, which, I still consider myself an amateur. And when I came to Texas in November last year for a month to just kind of see what was out there with music, and I decided I liked it so much that I stayed. And my goal in 2025 was 2 parts: to get better at guitar, which, I found Girl Guitar in Austin, which has been amazing for me.
If you don't mind, tell me about that before you tell me the second part.
Yeah, sure. So Girl Guitar is a women's music school in Austin. Mandy Rowden is an artist that started it, I think 18 years ago. So it's been around for quite a while. And Mandy does a lot of other things as well. She teaches music at Texas State. She's, founder of this festival. She's got her hands. She's also a performing musician in a band. She's got a lot of things going on, and she's fantastic. But the school, it's for women over 21, and she teaches their group classes for guitar, for vocals. They're like 6-week sessions with a showcase afterwards, so kind of like a recital. So I've done vocal lessons with her. I've done some of the acoustic guitar. She's also got bands, so you can actually join a girl guitar band and perform. I am now in Whirlwind and playing electric guitar, which I've never done in my life. So,
Whirlwind.
Yeah.
That's an awesome name.
Yeah.
I was thinking, like, wait a minute, is Earth, Wind, and Fire going to sue? But no, I think
it's
you're
a folk band. It is a folk band. So that made sense. She's got different genres, different bands that you can kind of sign up for to learn, how to perform in a band and how to play different instruments than what you already played. So that's been a really good, and kind of leads into the second thing that I was going to say is saying yes to every musical opportunity that has gotten dropped in my lap since November when I came to New Braunfels. The Guild is one of those things, the performances that you've offered me. I've been trying to say yes even when I don't feel ready to play in public. I don't have that many original songs yet because I did just start writing about a year ago. I think I have 10 total original songs. 2 of them are piano songs.
But 10 songs in the span of a year is really, really good.
I didn't say there were 10 good songs. There's probably matter. 5 that I could perform on demand.
I mean, the bane of all musicians is procrastination. It's like they have a really good idea for a song, but their notebook is over there, and then they have to convince themselves that it's not a good idea.
You know, I'm one of the people that the lyrics come first, and the lyrics come easy. But because my guitar skills have been so limited, I feel like that's kind of what holds me back. Like I only know so many strum patterns, and I've never played with a pick until I went to girl guitar, right? So
really,
so I'm excited to see, because I've got lyrics I haven't been able to put to music because I can't make the sounds yet that I hear that need to go with the song. So part of the journey this year for me has been trying to elevate myself as a musician so I can set loose the songs in the way they need to be in the world.
Do you feel like your creativity is actually getting stronger over time? What I mean by that is, like, one of my great fears is that as I get older, like the inspiration, the creativity, the things that I hear in my head are going to, they're just not going to come as frequently as they did when I was in my teens or in my 20s. But it sounds like when you're talking, it's like, wow, it feels like it's actually gone up since you've actually sat down and started to do this.
Yeah. I mean, I wrote my first song when I was 46 years old, so I don't think there's a limit. I don't think creativity is finite, and I think the more you do it, the easier it is. I see your point though. Like, after I wrote my first song, I was like, wow, I'll never be able to do that again. And then I wrote another one, and then I wrote another one, and then I was like, okay, well, they're all going to sound the same. And then I learned a new thing on the guitar, and I wrote a song using that, and it didn't sound the same. So I feel like, I think as long as you're willing to grow and experiment, you'll never run out of creativity.
That's a really good point. I mean, just being curious and always experimenting.
And learning, being willing to learn from somebody else and listen to things you wouldn't and take inspiration from them, I think.
Well, yeah. I mean, on that point, I've sent you a couple of albums, and I apologize if they're a little too avant-garde or obscure or weird. But yeah, those are things that, I just applaud them for being different.
Yeah.
But actually, the one thing that I was wondering about your songwriting process is, like, when do the ideas hit you? Because usually for me, it's when I'm driving.
That happens a lot. Yeah, I think that's when your brain relaxes and you can just have these stream of consciousness ideas. I have also woken up from a dead sleep and had to write a song. At least twice that's happened.
Wow.
I keep my process for capturing the ideas. I have a note in my iPhone just under notes, and it says song ideas, and I'll do voice memo to it whenever something crosses my path. And sometimes it'll just be like hey, I want to write a song about this concept one day. Or it might be, I just had an idea for an amazing lyric that I'll put down. I also, and maybe when it's time for me to play another song, I'll play this song, but I also get inspired by humorous things that happen to me, especially with respect to dating in this last year. So there have been some funny things that have happened that have turned into songs.
Yeah, so. I mean, that's usually it's the most awkward situations that bring about that. But I've had this situation where it's like, usually it's the chords that come to me first, but there's been one or two situations where I feel like the lyrics have come to me first, but I'll like write it down or something like that, and then I'll look at it later and I was like, what the heck was I thinking about? I can't like remember why this felt so profound when I wrote it down originally. It's like the context was gone because I didn't write down the context that led up to it.
Well, and not all the stuff that you write down that comes to you is good or will make it into a song. I like country, Americana, that kind of thing. And I really have always been moved by songs that tell stories, like even before I ever even wrote a song. And so, like, I understand there are other wonderful types of music where it doesn't have to be a literal chronological story that happens. So far, that has been easier. Those sorts of things have been easier for me to write. And a story.
Yeah.
And so now that I'm getting a little bit more skills and a few more songs under my belt, I'm trying different things.
Mm-hmm.
The most recent song I wrote, which actually I wrote it like 3 weeks ago.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I went to the Redbird listening room and played it the night I wrote it in the morning, and I played it that night at the Redbird, and it was probably awful, but I've polished it a little bit since then. But it's different. It's not a story.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of a list of funny things. I don't know. I don't know what you call it, but it's not. It's the first song I've written that wasn't a story.
It's almost like a stream of consciousness, or.
Well, I'll play it for you in a minute, and
okay,
you can decide what it is.
Yeah, I'd be interested to hear it. But what led to that one, since it's different than the other ones?
It's funny. I'm going to talk about girl guitar a lot because it's been a really big influence in my life since last November, and part of the reason I decided to stay here, in the New Braunfels area. One of the things every session that I've done with them, I've learned some new thing. It might be a song, it might be a technique or whatever. And in the last showcase that I did, so in the acoustic guitar, you do 6 weeks of this group, you learn songs together and all, and then you get paired with a person and you play 2 songs in the showcase, and you pick whatever songs you want. And the person that I have been paired with for the last 2 showcases, I love her. Her name is Lynn Hutchings, and she is
shout out
super into punk rock.
Yeah,
Awesome. I let her dye my hair pink for the last showcase, and I kind of like it. Totally, I couldn't name a punk rock song if my life depended on it, right? So it's been really fun to partner with somebody that has such a different taste and different background, and to get her back for some of the songs that she's thrown at me that I've had to learn how to play. I picked like hardcore country songs, and she has to learn them. So we learned Folsom Prison Blues to play.
Great song.
And you and I played that one
That's
together,
right.
and had a cool arrangement of it when we played at Green's Last Call. But I don't know how I had never played or performed that as a cover in the past. But the new song, I stole that chord progression and wrote my song to that chord progression because I had just, lived in rehearsals with those organization of chords. This song doesn't sound anything like Folsom Prison.
Yeah.
But I hadn't written a song that had a B7 in it.
Oh yeah, that's right. It
does
have a B7 in
it. You're such a good musician, and I've learned chords just from watching you play, right? So I'm sure that for somebody at my skill level, I write most of my stuff in cowboy chords because that's all I knew how to do. I'm, quickly learning more and gonna branch out from that. But that's another one of my goals, right? Elevate the guitar playing so I can open up the aperture to write more interesting songs and melodies and accompaniments and stuff. So that B7 was a big deal.
Well, I'm glad that I could show you that. The thing that I've noticed, and this is just incumbent almost on the genre of Americana and country and Tejana, is that they basically say to themselves, well, I've learned that chord once, why do I need to learn it again? What I mean by that is that you can find 3 to 4 different voicings on the guitar of all of these different chords, and sometimes you just want it to sound just slightly different than before. Now that, the big bar rap over the B7th is one that I do like because you got the bass note accounted for, and you're able to then slide it up and down the neck and do a bunch of things with. But people have a other way of playing it, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just good to be like, okay, I'm prepared to have different voicings. And when you are able to equip that and get confident with it, it's almost like looking out at a crowd and having just a bunch of parcels in front of you, and you're being like, I'm going to take this one, I'm going to take this one, and this one, and this one. You're playing the same song, but it is unique for that performance. But it takes a lot of time and courage, really, because you have to believe in yourself whenever that happens. And crazy example of that, a song that I never thought I should attempt. Someone wanted me to play Stevie Ray Vaughan a couple weeks ago. What is it? Pride and Joy. It's the 12-bar blues in the key of E. But I'm like, I should not be playing a Stevie Ray Vaughan song, especially on an acoustic guitar. But it went pretty well. And then, Stevie would have these huge portions, sometimes 12 to 24 bars, of him just doing the most outlandish, crazy solos. I can't do that. But fortunately, I knew a couple different voicings of the E chord, the A chord, and the B chord, so that I could be like, at least that it's interesting enough to someone out there, so they're like, oh, he's not playing the same thing over and over and over. But is that something I'm willing to do again? Probably not, because there's just there's some things that are kind of unspoken rules.
Yeah, I don't think I would ever aspire to try to tackle a Stevie song. I do also play the piano. So, and I've played piano since I was a little kid. So when I mentioned earlier I have 10 songs, 2 of them are piano songs, it's because they have hard chords in them, and I couldn't play them on the guitar. And I really wanted to write most of my guitar songs, they're upbeat and witty and kind of funny. Some of them are negative, but they're still kind of funny. The 2 that I wrote on the piano, which I played them at the very first Ladies Songwriter Night that you hosted at the Winery on the Green back in February. I think that was the first time I met you. They're more emotional ballads, right? Which I haven't been able to do on the guitar yet, right? So I think having that multi-instrumental background helps with some of that, and it does make learning the guitar a bit easier, and even songwriting, because I do understand music theory. I do know about the differences in chords and things. I just don't have the skill on the guitar yet to make it all happen on this instrument.
So as a pianist, can you play? Can you read both bass and treble clef?
Yeah, I can read music. And for years I played classical piano growing up. Like, I'm not as good as Morgan.
Oh yeah,
she's
Morgan
just
Wallace.
amazing. But yeah,
Shout out Morgan.
I can read music, and actually I can make up accompaniments on the piano. When I was in the duo, I was in an acoustic duo in Florida where I played piano and my duo partner played guitar. I also played guitar sometimes. And I would, improvise accompaniment to his lead guitar. And to tie that all back to songwriting, the thing that I feel like I'm just learning, and that I never thought I could do, but I'm starting to figure out, right? Like, lyrics are easy for me. The accompaniment is not hard. Like, the chord progression is not hard to figure out. It's the melody. It's creating, like, that's the thing that I am excited to experiment with and learn more about, and become a better vocalist so I can perform my own stuff, right? Like, I don't want to write songs I can't sing. I don't know how.
I've been guilty of that.
I know
actually.
people do that sometimes, but yeah, it's like you go to the songwriter things here, and if you're a crappy guitar player and a crappy singer, your song doesn't get represented, even if it's a great song. Like, so you have to be able to represent the whole thing. And some of my songs, I hear them like as a band. Like, I would love to play this with a band one day, like with the bass and somebody to play lead, besides me, because that's not my aspiration.
Yeah, one question though that's pretty good. Do you have a preference on instrument? Do you prefer the piano or do you prefer the guitar now?
So that's a hard question, right?
I know, it's like I saying which child is your favorite or something.
Well, it's a lot easier for me to play the piano because I played it for years. I don't have to think about it. I still have to think about the guitar. That song I just played, I messed up a whole bunch of chords because I wasn't thinking about the guitar hard enough, right? So it still requires a large part of my focus to be able to play the guitar, even simple stuff, and remember all the words and sing. So it's easier for me to play the piano because it doesn't require as much thought. But it's not as portable, and it's harder to show up at a songwriter night to play 3 songs and lug a piano, right? So
we could get you a melodica. Do you know what that is?
No.
Melodica is it's like half a keyboard. I think it's got about 24, maybe at most 24 keys on it. But you blow through a tube, and then that kind of activates like a fan that when you play the keys, it makes a very unique sound. It's very cool. I like the melodica sound, but it is kind of weird seeing a person turn a keyboard sideways and blow it like a trumpet.
Can you sing and play it at the same time?
Oh, no.
So you can learn melodica and be my accompanist if you want.
Maybe. I can't play the keys. There was a great singer-songwriter, all-around performer by the name of Billy Preston back in the... he was like from the 50s all the way till the 80s, and he would play melodica, and then he would put that down and instantly like belt out a song. He was a great singer.
Wow.
So there's just a lot of talented people out there, you included. And actually on that point, we've kind of built up this song about, you've talked about the aspects of it and stuff like that. I'd love to hear it now, if that's all right with you.
All right. So I want to tell a story about the song.
Sure thing.
And then I'll attempt to play it. I mentioned that playing with the pick is still kind of new to me. In fact, I don't know if I can play with the pick and wear a ring at the same time.
Now that is a lyric right there. Can I play with a pick and a ring? There you go.
Awesome.
I get royalties for that.
So I mentioned that writing the lyrics come easy, and the guitar sometimes takes a little while. So I actually wrote the lyrics to this song last year. It was probably October or November last year. It was before I came to Texas. But I couldn't put it to music the way I wanted. And so the way it came to be, I went on a really bad Bumble date. And I left the coffee shop and I got in my car and I texted my girlfriend, because that's what you have to do to prove you're alive after these dates, right? And she said, well, how was the date? And I said, that date was a total waste of makeup. And then I went home and I wrote this song, which is called Total Waste of Makeup. But I couldn't put it to music because I didn't have a strum pattern that worked with what I heard in my head for it, right? So then fast forward, I don't know, till February or whatever of this year, when I found out about Girl Guitar in Austin, and I started taking acoustic guitar group lessons at Girl Guitar. And one of the showcase songs that I was performing was I Feel Lucky, a Mary Chapin Carpenter song that I used to do a lot, but I didn't know how to play it on guitar. And it's a blues shuffle, like that, right? And I was like, oh my gosh, that'll work for my Total Waste of Makeup song. Yeah. So after I learned that rhythm, I was able to put the two pieces of the song together, the words I had written about this horrible date and the music from what I learned at Girl Guitar. So I'll play the song for you guys.
It's called Total Waste of Makeup?
Total Waste of Makeup. Yeah. And it's one of those where you would, if you heard it on the radio, you wouldn't know that was the name of the song. So after I'm done playing the song, you have to guess, if you heard it on the radio, what would you think the title was?
Ooh, fun challenge.
All right, let's see if I can do it.
Well, I'm tired of the looking, tired of the waiting, tired of meeting strangers who can't hold a conversation. Where's all the good men at? Where's all the good men at? Tired of grabbing coffee, tired of grabbing drinks, tired of wasting makeup when they don't care what I think. Where's all the good men at? Where's all the good men at? I'm so tired of this dating crowd. I'm so tired. Whoa, can somebody tell me where's all the good men at? Well, I'm tired of all the swiping, tired of all the lies when they don't look like the pictures. It's a waste of my time. Where's all the good men at? Where's all the good men at? I'm so tired of this dating crowd. I'm so tired. Can somebody tell me where's all the good men at? 'Cause they ain't at the store, ain't at the bar. They sure as hell ain't online. I just don't know where they are.
Well, it's that's a fun song. I know that some people classify that as like, oh, that's a man-hating song. I don't. I think it's a man advice song, and
Well,
I think that the guy should take the advice.
That's a good point. And I think this song in particular could be sang from a man's point of view. All the points I make are just as valid to a man dating women as to a woman dating man. I'm just singing from my perspective and my personal experience from the song.
Actually, that my brother-in-law, he was. We kind of had this conversation about writing, just writing in general, and he claims that you can only write from your experience, and I'm like, well, I was arguing more along the philosophical case of like there are people that have written stories about battles and have never been to war.
There's fiction.
Yeah, exactly. There's fiction. There's fantasy. So I'm more along the lines of like, even in songwriting, you can write about things, and you may put your mind in either a really happy place or a sad place that you haven't been in, but you can do it. And but
I mean, I really hope all those people singing murder ballads at the Redbird didn't actually do them things.
Well, I hope not. I don't think Marty Robbins actually, witnessed the shooting out of El Paso or, was hustling cattle or anything like that. Yeah. Actually, well, let's treat this there are guys and girls that are out there listening out there. A lot of your songs are about the dating scene nowadays, and I would vehemently agree that it's that there is something that's going wrong. It's worthy of bringing up a song. What would you say if you could just pull out a megaphone and then just say, guys, please do this?
So before I answer that question,
right.
Since I just played the Total Waste of Makeup song, I want to tell a quick caveat to it goes with what you're saying. So I played that song. I played the songs I'm going to play today. I played 3 of them at the Texas Women's Songwriter Festival.
Right.
So a lot of times when I go to a songwriter night, it's me and a bunch of dudes, right? And y'all are not the target audience for most of my songs. I mean, because of the perspective that I'm currently singing some of them from, right? Like you just said. So anyway, I played on this stage to probably the largest audience I have played original music in front of to date. And this was that song I just played, Total Waste of Makeup, was the last song I played before I got off the stage. And when I got off the stage, these women ran up to me to give me dating advice, which I thought was really funny. And there was guys that came up to tell me what good men they were. Right? Oh. So they were obviously listening to the songs, but it was just interesting. So I think that song in particular is not as divisive. Like I have written some songs that I think men could be offended by. That one I don't think is one. Because if you're a good man, that song doesn't apply to you. Yeah. Right? Like, where's all the good men at? You should just be raising your hand in the audience, right? But yeah, I'm one. We're over here.
That's kind of a telltale. Right? No, just be nice, know how to cook a couple good dishes, and then just learn how to move furniture, and that's a good man, and you'll be good. I'm just kidding. There's more to that. I
think it's more about being a good person.
Good being, yeah, exactly
general.
right.
And it definitely goes in both directions.
Exactly. But, I mean, that's a really funny scenario. Wait. What were the girls saying about dating advice?
So one girl ran up to me, because I tell the story about the Bumble date before I played that song, and she flagged me down, and she was like, "Don't give up on Bumble. I met my man on Bumble," and she's showing me
she has stock in it.
And no, she just she had really good luck, and that's true for lots of people. So, and it's a lot of the songs that I'm singing, they're like about specific experiences. It's not the theme of my life, right? And it's kind of been, that theme is kind of what started the songwriting, and like a lot of the stuff that needed to come out so I could heal from that breakup. Yeah. It's sort of come out in some of these songs. And dating after you're a certain age and you move to new places, and it is hard. It's hard to find, in general, for people, it's hard to make friends, much less find people to date. So
nowadays.
So it's frustrating for everybody, not just me.
Yeah, and I think that the temptation for, there's a bunch of different possible knee-jerk reactions for those that either haven't been listening to local music very much, haven't listened to your type of music, or just maybe they're just too immersed in like politics and things like that, is that the idea is to like have a knee-jerk response armed with your logic, your facts, and your reasoning, and you're like, well, no, get to know the person. They're not there to, belittle or besmirch anyone. And then, you can also be mature enough to laugh at yourself. Yeah, we're really bad. Like, I'm happy to tell about one of the worst dates that I tried to set up. I thought I was being nice. I was granted like a freshman in college, but I wanted to take a girl out on a picnic, and we didn't have any sandwich meat, so I used hamburger meat instead, and it was like day-old cold hamburgers, and I put them on sandwich bread, and I thought like, I'm doing something nice, and she took one look at it and just went like, died a little inside. And then I was just like, yeah, I'm probably going to have to up things a little bit more if anything like this is going to work out, and that's why I'm still single.
You're right. A lot of people do want to share their worst date stories with me after I play too. So I've heard some doozies.
This was self-inflicted, though. I mean,
yeah,
I was just like, hamburger meat will be good, but.
But you wouldn't do that now, right?
No,
so you
no.
learned, you grew, you're older now.
Actually, here, I'm turning the camera right here, center stage. Guys, learn a couple good dishes. I've learned how to make cheesesteak. I know how to make mashed potatoes and steak. I can make a good breakfast taco. That's basically it. We're set from here on out. And if it's just me, I got plenty of protein intake, so we're good. So yeah, no, I told that like that was my philosophy. I told a group of girls when I was traveling through Switzerland that, and they all went like, "You know how to cook?" Yes, but I guess where they lived, they didn't know very many people that would cook for them.
Oh.
Yeah, it's unique. But, I mean, that's cool. It's all right to have a theme. I remember telling you a while ago that a song is really a snapshot of how you feel in a certain moment. Mm. And you have the ability to play that snapshot over and over and over. But just because you may play it, 10 years from now, doesn't mean that you're going to be the same person. We undulate all the time.
Yeah. I can tell that actually that first song that I wrote, I wrote when I was really mad, the first, few months of that song being in the world, and I sang it and I was mad. Every time I sang it, I would be mad. And I sang it. I haven't sang it in public in a while. It's kind of an angry, mean song. But I sang it at home recently just to, because I was playing through all my stuff.
Right.
And I just couldn't muster the same level of anger. And so the song was softer and funnier. And so it's mellowed out over time as I've moved further and further away from the hurt that caused the song to be born.
Yeah. Oh, I understand completely. It took me, I would say, about 8 years of guitar playing before I wrote one good song. Wow. And that song I wrote crying in a public bathroom stall. And it was like full of just this angst and energy that I had never put into any song before or after. And I can still play it, but I don't play it when I first got it down. I would go to like the open mics in the area. It was in Tampa, Florida, and I would just bust that thing out, try to break my guitar, pounding it as hard as I can. And nowadays, it's more along the lines of, like, let's be goofy. Let's have a good time. Let's engage the crowd, keep them interested. But it's definitely not the same me as it was back 16 or 17 when I actually wrote it.
Yeah. I think, looking at the portfolio of the 10 songs that I do have, I can see kind of, where I've been kind of in my journey over the last year as I've written them. And, I've written a lot of songs about dating, but I also wrote a couple of songs about how much I like Texas.
Yeah.
And they're maybe not as good and as catchy as the other ones, and I don't really play them that often anymore, but I wrote them in a moment where I was like full of new beginnings and going to a new place. And so it's a snapshot of where I was, to use the words that you use.
And you've traveled around most of the continental United States, right?
Yeah, I've traveled a lot, and I've been to a lot of parts of Texas, and I've lived in several different places before coming to Texas.
I got you. And you like Texas so much that you just started to, what's the term, wax lyrical about it. That's pretty cool.
You know, it's funny. So I grew up in North Carolina. That's the accent that you hear. And before I moved to Texas, I lived in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a really good girlfriend that lives in Tampa, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And for the last 4 years-ish before I came to Texas, she and I traveled around extensively. We went to a lot of music festivals, all sorts of things.
Cool.
And she's from Texas, so we came to Texas a lot. And I had never been to Texas before I came here with her. And I used to tell her, after I moved here, I told her, if I had been to Texas before I moved to Florida, I'd have come to Texas and I wouldn't have come to Florida and I would have just been here.
Wow.
But I needed the journey.
I have some Floridian friends that would be like, them's fighting words. But
it's beautiful.
They can't read,
it's beautiful
so it's
where
okay.
I was in Florida, and I go back there sometimes. But what was I going to say? I needed the experience of going to Florida because that's what happened to open to songwriting doors for me. It's where I got into an acoustic duo and got some performance experience and got to really work with somebody who knew about sound equipment and like play in front of people, right? And
that's right.
I wouldn't have had the same Texas experience, and I probably wouldn't be here interviewing with you had I not gone to Florida and had that part of my life. So.
But you said that you had a duo that you played with in Florida. Do you ever go back and play with them?
I haven't really been back since moving here. I mean, it's been, November, I guess, when I came out here, and then officially settled in July. So I haven't really been back to there since then. I know he's in another band now.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So, but we played about 2.5 years as a duo. It was all covers.
Well, no, that's excellent experience. You were playing at like bars, restaurants.
There was a wine bar and a brewery / restaurant that we played at pretty regularly.
That's cool.
Yeah. We did a couple festivals, like little, like kind of like the festivals here at 13 Trees, but they're in Florida. We did a few like that too.
Well, that's cool. I had an overall positive music experience in Florida, but it was a lot more kind of underground. It was playing at like a boba tea shop. I did get to play at like one larger restaurant, but then the one place that everyone wanted to get into in Tampa because it was just built was World of Beer. Do you know what that is? It's just like a giant tap room basically. And so a bunch of us tried to get in there. I think one of my friends did, but also actually I think the reason I might be making an assumption here, but I think that you fit in with the Texas scene better, especially because Florida has a very secret, like underground metal movement. That's where Under Oath was started in Orlando, and everyone in Tampa wanted to start there. I was friends with a progressive metal band called Foreteller, and you don't see metal as much here in Texas, and so when I hear you play, I'm like, yeah, they just fit right in with this area.
You know, growing up in North Carolina, actually the hills of North Carolina are very similar to the hill country here. It's part of why I like this area of Texas. I mean, I grew up cowboy boots. Like I grew up like, you know, from here. Like I do fit right in here. And I felt it the very first time I ever visited Texas, which was great. And one of the things that I love about this area that's different from Florida, which is where all my other musical experience was, is the appetite for original music.
Yeah.
You can go out here and play original music, and there are people who are not musicians who will come and listen to it.
Yeah.
And they prefer it almost over hearing covers. Where that doesn't exist in the beach town in Florida where I was. Everybody wants to hear Jimmy Buffett and the same 10 covers.
The same thing over and over and over.
Right. And the only original stuff they want to hear is if it's been on the radio or if they're, you know, so the fact that every night of the week there's more than one songwriter night to choose from out here where you can go and play your original music, that is special and unique and does not exist everywhere. So the folks that live here and that, you know, are used to that, like, they should be very grateful of how special
We
it is.
definitely forget how nice we have it here because, just to your point, if you were to go anywhere else and just be like, well, I'm going to do like an hour, 2-hour set list of my stuff, people are going to start like coming up to you and being like, hey, give me the thing that I want to hear.
Well, no
that I've
bar
heard
would
before.
pay you to do that.
Exactly.
First of all, you'd be able to do it at open mic where
Yeah.
other people are there playing covers, basically.
Yeah, and just to be fair, there are some people that only play covers, and they're excellent musicians.
Yeah, I play a lot of covers.
Yeah.
And I'm probably better at performing the covers than my own stuff
Yeah.
for several reasons. But no shade
Yeah,
on playing
no
covers.
no shame
I
on
just
those
mean,
people at all.
If you want to write songs, or if you wrote a song and I was a complete amateur songwriter, guitar player, singer, everything, and I showed up in New Braunfels, and the local music scene accepted me and lets me play. Like, you booked me to play in a women's festival like 2 months after I showed up. So you don't know this. I don't know if you know this. So I think it was November. So I was here in November, and you messaged me on Facebook or something and asked me to play in this thing in February.
I'm still trying to figure out how I found you.
I have no idea, but I'm really glad you did. So I had written 2 songs, and your message said, come and play 4 to 5 songs. And I said yes, because my thing, I'm going to say yes to all the musical things. So I had to go, over Christmas, I had to write 3 more songs to be able to perform at that thing. And I did it, damn it. Like, I think I played 4 or 5 songs. I think I played 2 piano songs and 2 or 3 guitar songs.
Yes,
at
you
the
did.
thing. And
you did a great job.
So thank you for forcing me to write those songs in a way, right? Like, like I had some accountability. Like, oh my God, I said I was going to play at this thing. I need more songs. So there's a few songs that exist in the world because I got that opportunity to play at Winery on the Green.
From your point of view, how did that first event go?
You know, I felt I'm not always super comfortable playing my original stuff. It's more vulnerable than playing a cover, right?
Is.
Because you play a cover, somebody thought it was good enough to produce it, put it on an album, put it on the radio, people know it, right? So whether you play it well or not, the song itself is accepted. You write your own song, and it's never been played or published or no one's heard it, right? Like, is it even really a good song? Regardless of how I perform it or whether I can sing or play well, like, is the song good?
Yeah.
Like, you kind of have to decide that for yourself, I guess. But like, there's some vulnerability of putting some new thing out in the world that's not established, right? And playing it in public.
There is some truth to that. Like, the term good song is interesting. Do I want to stop a person from producing music because it is quote unquote not good?
Well, and it's so relative. You're right.
Exactly.
You're right.
Like, I think that there is such a thing as a good song. But
there's also bad songs. Like,
yeah, but my point being is that I want the person who is, writing music, go ahead and make your bad songs because eventually you're going to make a good one. And I want you to fight through it. But the one thing that you have to do is, it's like sometimes we treat our songs as our baby, and it's like it's perfect, and it'd be like, well, think about the next one that's coming. Like, you can love that song, you can still play it, you can patent it to a way where the crowd loves it, but it may only be good to you and to the musician friends of yours that like to be stimulated by very like quirky lyrics or good chords or something like that. But don't be afraid, and don't let a song that you have written prevent you from the next song that you can write.
Yeah, that's good. And taste is so subjective. Genres are so subjective. I mean, some people only like certain genres. I like everything within reason, I guess. And so, I don't know. When I say is it good, I think that's more of like coming from a place of insecurity more than a place of judgment, right? Like,
fair.
Is it going to land? Are people going to think it's good, right? Like, I struggle a lot with imposter syndrome, especially being such a new songwriter. And like, who am I to say I'm a songwriter, right?
Every
like,
day.
Who, right? And yeah, I've been paid to play music in public, but I still get a twinge to call myself a musician. And in the last year, and especially in my, my new existence that I'm creating for myself here in Texas, like, I'm correcting that. Like, people ask me what I do now. I tell them I'm a musician. I have a day job and I'm a musician, right? Instead of like shying away from that, right?
Well, it's kind of like the joke. What is it? It's like I'm a football, or no, it's like I'm a drinker with a football problem, or something like that. Instead of I'm a football player with a drinking problem. I've heard that. It's kind of like we have that with music a lot. Is that we're so passionate about it, especially the things that we're able to do with our hands, and just writing down on pieces of paper that. It's like, yeah, the thing that I worked hard to become an occupation, that's what I do, but that's not what I am.
Yeah.
And it's very special. It's also kind of risky as well, because you're becoming vulnerable to people around you, especially if you announce to them, I'm a musician.
They expect you to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you
exactly.
there has been sometimes, maybe you've been there before. Have you ever walked around a place with a guitar on your back, or in your case, in your hand, and someone's been like, are you going to play a song for us? And in those moments, that's the only time that I think of this as an occupation, because I want to turn to them and go like, do you see a person with a plunger and go, are you going to unclog my toilet?
Yeah.
Because it just feels like they're like, you're
here to entertain
You're here to
me.
entertain me.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's
Yeah.
not necessarily the case. But maybe it's because I've just heard it so many times and you can't throw anything at them. But
Yeah.
Anyway, we're getting close enough to another song if you'd like to play one.
Yeah. Let me think.
It's a dangerous thing to do.
Okay, so we've been talking about new songs and vulnerable and new songs.
That's right.
So I think on that note, I'll play the most recent song that I wrote, which I can't remember. It's 3 or 4 weeks ago. This song is still very raw and new, and I'm still working on some of the vocal stuff at
Sure
the
thing.
end. And I envisioned this one being played with another, like not just me by myself. So you'll hear that part when I get to it. But to my theme, this one is called Men and Music.
I could flip a coin, shake an agate ball. I could spin a wheel, wish on a star. I could phone a friend, use the luck of the draw, roll me some dice to make a choice that's hard. But if I had to choose between men and music, that's easy. Just give me a guitar. 'Cause if I'm gonna cry myself to sleep at night, then let the tears come straight from a steel guitar. What to wear to work, what's a bottom line, where I wanna eat, what to watch at night. Should I cut my hair? Should I get a new car? Knowing what I want can be mighty hard. But if I had to choose between men and music, that's easy. Just give me my guitar. 'Cause if I'm gonna cry myself to sleep at night, then let the tears come straight from a steel guitar.
And this is where there would be an amazing steel guitar solo instead of what's about to happen.
To choose between men and music, well, that's easy. Just give me my guitar. And if I'm gonna cry guitar.
That was great.
That all that walk up and down stuff, I didn't know how to do that in November. Like, that's all like recent learnings.
You know, I mean, that's a great song. The walk up and the walk down, it's great. It adds just that needed flair. And what I was thinking of is that, you know, there has to be a work ethic that I'm guessing must have been translated from your previous, like, either previous job experience or just life lessons, because there are a lot of musicians that they can be exceptionally lazy, and I'm going, wait a minute, she couldn't do that in a year's time, which means that she's probably, you know, sitting there working on it every single day.
Oh, you know what it is? I'm stubborn. I want something to be a certain way.
Yeah.
It's going to be that way, damn it. Right? So I will, it's because I'm stubborn. Yeah. I mean, thank you for thinking I'm a hard worker, and I would like to think I have some work ethic, but I think that, I could practice more. I'm not.
We can all practice
Yeah.
more.
I could use a lot more self-discipline. But when I hear something and I know I want it to sound a certain way,
Mm-hmm.
that's been an evolution too, because I think when I first started writing, I didn't know, right? Like, you don't know what you don't know. I don't know what the possibilities are to put in, to make the sounds, right?
That's right.
And so watching more people play, you know, learning more covers, listening to more music, gives you more ideas.
I agree. That's why I do not fear covers or music theory. That's one thing that it would be polite criticism of the area, is that a lot of the musicians are terrified of theory. And I can understand their standpoint. Their standpoint is, if I learn theory, then I am going to be confined by the way that it was taught to me. Meaning that, like, a song has to finish this way. A song has to have a bridge at this point. A song has to go from this chord to this chord to this chord, because that's what they were taught. I am on the philosophy that it shows you, it's kind of like having a map. There's a big difference about being in the Gobi Desert and then actually looking at a map. Both of them have their value. When you're actually there, you can actually have the experience, and it's very unique to you. But when you have a map, you have an idea of where you can go. It's still your decision, but it's better than rambling lost in the sand dunes.
Yeah, they're not laws, they're directional suggestions.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I love jazz music so much, because it is the pioneers, the ones that are going, what is the craziest things that we can slap together and still call a song? And there is, some people say that there is no theory, and it's heightened theory, it's advanced theory, because you're getting right at the fringes of, like, we have 12 pitches and we're doing what? But making it work. And I know jazz isn't for everyone, but it's kind of like the mad scientist of genres. That's why
I can see you liking that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up with a lot of, I grew up with oldies music, primarily the Carpenters, Chicago, Steely Dan, the Beatles, things like that. But then I would be introduced to friends like, there was the Reign of Kendo, and they were like jazz fusion rock pop. And you were like, okay, I know all of those words stand alone, but what is it when it's all jammed together like that? And they would make things that would just, what's the word? Just completely stimulate my mind. And you're like, okay, like, you can listen to like one verse of a song and be like, well, this is how the rest of the song goes. Not with theirs. You'd be like, they're here to take me on a roller coaster ride, and the end is going to be completely different to what the beginning was. But it's not a bad thing if you have a predictable song. So, Folsom Prison Blues, you've heard the first verse, you've heard the entire song. doesn't matter. It's a great song.
People do like repetition, and they like to be able to sing along. And I was surprised. So at the festival that I played at last weekend, nobody in that room had heard the songs I was going to play,
right,
except for like maybe the instructor who was somewhere in the back, right?
Okay.
Like no person in the audience had heard the songs. And the Where's All the Good Men At song, which is, you know, the Total Waste of Makeup song. There were people, I could hear them from the stage singing along because the song was that predictable, I guess, for them. But like, what an awesome, I've never had an audience sing my song back to me before. Like, how amazing.
I haven't either. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and it's just, you know, I could just hear them singing along that, like, kind of anthem lyric, right? Where's all the good men at? It's also the first time I had played it to that many women. So maybe I just need to find that kind of audience a little more often.
Well, actually, one thing that I've been wondering, when it comes to your songwriting and you come to a new song, is there any part, it doesn't have to be strict theory, but maybe something that you're like, I just want it to be slightly different, like I want to do it in 3/4 time or something like that?
I would love to do a song in 3/4 time if I could learn how to do that on the guitar. That would be hard for me to play on guitar right now.
You kind of accidentally stumble on it. You'll probably write something and you'll be like,
this needs to be
that's
waltz.
in 3/4.
Yeah, I could do it on the piano. And yeah, I'll learn how to do that at some point. But yeah, I would like. So I have written a lot of songs in the key of A. I would like to. I've also written a lot of songs in the key of G.
C for me, so that's okay.
Yeah. Well, but since January, I can now play some bar chords. I haven't written a lot of songs that use them yet. Although one of the songs about Texas has an F in it, and I've switched to playing that as a bar chord. So,
the bar chord F, yeah.
Yeah. So you know, I feel like in the next couple of and I've actually written lyrics to 2 more songs recently that I haven't put to music.
Awesome.
So I have some opportunity to incorporate new skills whenever I get around to figuring out what those are going to sound like. So.
Yeah, and for me, it's. I think there was I don't know. Oh gosh, am I thinking of Ratatouille? Gosh, I think it was in Ratatouille where the chef said that he would always add one thing into the recipe just to make it unpredictable, but he was allowed to do it because he was the best chef. Well, for me, I'm not claiming to be the best musician at all, but when it comes to songwriting, I'm like, what is that one thing that I can throw in that either entertains me or makes it just hard enough so that I'm like, okay, I have to be a little bit better to write this song.
You know, that's a really good point. It needs to entertain me, and I'm thinking about playing covers now.
Yeah.
Because I've played cover songs for 3 or 4 years. This is ever how long I've known how to play the guitar. I've been playing covers, and recently, when you and I got together to play at Green's Last Call, I went through my list of like, how many covers do I actually know? Because I play covers from all kinds of genres, not just country.
Yeah.
And so I went back through like every cover I've ever played in public, and I counted up, and I think I told you I had, I don't know, 70-some covers.
Which
it was a lot.
Amazing.
And
That's
so I
great.
went back and like, now not that I know them by heart or could perform them all tomorrow, but those were all songs that at some time or other I had performed in public. So I went back through them, and I was like, oh, this is how I used to play this song the first year I ever was playing guitar, and I don't need to play it quite that amateurly anymore.
Yeah.
Like I could play that. I've grown since the last time I played that song, and I could add something new to it, or use a more elevated strum pattern, or finger pick it.
You're exactly right. Yeah, I mean, do you know the biggest reason why we don't improve on our covers is because we probably learn it off of Ultimate Guitar, one of the guitar tablature places, and so we have, like, we almost treat it like gospel. It's like, this is the way that it's supposed to be played, and all we're doing is reading someone else's suggestion.
Yeah, I don't feel that way about covers. I never have, and thankfully the person I was in the duo with allowed for experimentation, and most of the covers that there's a few that I do that you would recognize them from the radio, or that I could sing a karaoke version of it. But you've heard the Miranda Lambert cover that I do. Like, you wouldn't know what the song was it's so different from the original.
Which is great.
Until you realize, so my goal when I used to play at a winery in Virginia when I lived in Virginia. I didn't know what I was doing. It was the pandemic. No one cared as long as you could be outdoors and have some
music,
entertainment.
Yeah.
And I played a lot of I played a Beyonce song. I played Madonna songs and Mariah Carey songs, and I don't sound anything like any of those people. And my goal was to just be playing the song and have people kind of tap on their foot and halfway through go, oh, that's a Madonna song.
Exactly.
Cool, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not being compared to the original artist because I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
But for somebody to enjoy it in my interpretation of it was always just my goal.
I love interpretations of songs because if you want a one-to-one comparison, you don't need me. You just need a Spotify playlist.
Right.
You can just hit play.
Right.
But I'm there to give you me and be the entertainer, the jester, the person that is, the reason why the crowd is coming and spending money. That's like, I'm not here to siphon money off of a business. We're supposed to work mutually together. And I can do that at my best when I have liberties on covers. And I agree completely. I love to make fun covers.
I think thinking about it now, it's just occurring to me that was probably my gateway to songwriting. The fact that I took somebody else's song and made it completely different probably opened some doors to be able to create something new as well, instead of just trying to carbon copy what other people were doing.
Yeah, there's been, some great covers that have become, the covers themselves have become more popular than the original. There was Mad World by Gary Jules.
Yeah,
there
that's
was
a great one. All the Chris Cornell stuff.
Oh my goodness, Chris Cornell, especially. I was thinking of Nirvana. They did The Man Who Sold the World, and they did for the MTV acoustic concert. And it was so good, their cover, that when David Bowie would sing the song, people are going, he's singing that Nirvana song. But he wrote it. There's so many examples of that. So songwriters out there, please go ahead and just pick apart a cover that you like. Make it your own. You said you did like Beyonce. Did you? What were the other artists that you were doing?
Madonna, Mariah Carey. I played a Mariah Carey song when we played at Green's Last Call, and
that's right.
Nobody knew that's what it was.
I heard this one band do an incredible, like really fun, upbeat jazz version of Umbrella.
Oh, yeah.
And
that's a Rihanna.
Yeah, Rihanna. And you wouldn't have been able to tell until the guy started to sing the lyrics. And oh gosh, I kind of like it better than the original myself.
I think it's cool too, because everything I sing sounds like a country song. It doesn't matter if it's 9 Inch Nails or Michael Jackson. It sounds country when I sing it. And I always think it's cool when you can take a song that already has fans of one genre that like it, and introduce it to fans of a different genre, and they like it.
I think there's a need for it actually, because there are some. I make fun of country all the time, being a northern snob, but I
won't hold it against you.
Everyone else listening to this podcast will. But the thing is, there are fantastic stories, life lessons, and philosophies within country music. It's just usually it's wrapped up in the 1-4-5, in the key of A or something like that. And if people can get past that and be like, wait a minute, there's a treasure trove of great things to hear and apply. Sometimes it just needs to be put in a slightly different package. And if you can do that, man, the world's your oyster. We're getting close to another song. If you'd like to do,
I got one more.
You got one more
song.
That'd be great.
Okay. So apparently, I write songs about stuff I'm tired of. I sang about the Total Waste of Makeup's got a lot of lines about what I'm tired of. This one is called "I'm Tired of Getting My Heart Broke," and I wrote this. I think I wrote this in January, February. It was after I came back to New Braunfels after the holidays, and I was here. So I think it was maybe the fourth or fifth song that I ever wrote. It's real short, and it's cowboy chords, but I really like it. It's definitely a country song.
But is it about me? Makes them think they can use me, wine and dine to find me, then leave me behind. Thought there was good guys out there, the kind that love you and show their care, but I can't find them nowhere. I think I'm wasting my time. I'm tired of getting my heart broke. My love and life is gone up in smoke. I'm about ready to give up hope. I'm tired of getting my heart broke. Well, if there's someone for everyone, why do the ones I find always run? And when it's all said and done, I find out they were lying. Well, let me tell you, it ain't no fun when your love life comes undone. I tried everything under the sun, and I'm always left crying. I'm tired of getting my heart broke. My love and life has gone up in smoke. I'm about ready to give up hope. I'm tired of getting my heart broke. Oh, getting my heart broke. Love life has gone up in smoke. I'm about ready to give up hope. I'm tired of getting my heart broke.
Beautiful. Awesome. You know, when we first started like getting this set up, one of the things that you were saying is that your music, it's like, well, it's not radio ready. I'm like, it's getting close. It's, I mean, that one, I would not be surprised at all if I were to turn on the radio and hear
Really?
that song.
Wow.
Oh, and I mean that in all honesty, which means that I get part royalties for finding you. You know,
You know, I think so. This year, my commitment was to say yes to all the new musical opportunities
Right.
that came to me, and I've been really diligent about doing that. I think my goal for 2026 might be to try to record something and like have a full, like, get with people who can play other instruments and add fullness to it, because I hear some of these as band.
well, I know some people.
You did some people, great.
Well, you know, there's been some interesting challenges because I talk to musicians a lot about their desires for recording. What was it? Megan had a very interesting challenge for herself. She wanted to make a new EP, but she wanted that every single song to be from a different recording studio, which, I mean, cha-ching, but at the same time, I'm like, that is such an interesting concept and challenge, because if you have a different engineer behind the recording studio every single time, giving their own advice, changing it so the song is perfect in their ear or something like that, especially also the acoustics of just being in a different room, you're going to have a very dynamic, shifting song. It's not like it's going to feel like you're actually going to feel like, wow, this was in different rooms, different times of the year. All of those things matter. So, I mean, the fact that you have the challenge of like, hey, I'm just going to get people together and start working on some of these songs, that's great. And it shows that you really do believe in your music, and I think you should.
Well, thank you. I think something that's a challenge for a new-ish songwriter and for someone who's never recorded anything beyond like cell phone YouTube video, right? I don't know what to ask for. And so as the leader of our guild, maybe that's something to think about. Maybe is there a place somebody like me could go to become educated on even like, how do you even do that? Like if I walked into a recording studio tomorrow and said, I want to record my song,
yeah,
I would have no idea what to tell them I even want or how to start that process. So.
Well, that's there's a really scary bit there, because you, like I said, you treat your songs as your baby. And so you're handing this off to another person in a sense, and a producer, a sound engineer, people that are sitting down on the other side, they're just as much of a musician as you are. And so they will have ideas about percussion, especially, that you won't have, because when you heard the song in your head, you weren't hearing it with a percussion,
with
a shaker or a percussion line. And so when they suggest that, you're like, but I didn't hear that in my head when I first did it. It's one of those things where you just have to go,
trust the process.
I trust you.
Yeah.
And I have
So
been horribly
you must
disappointed.
Like go in and be like, hey, this is the kind of vibe. This other song that's famous, this old country song, I really like it, and I kind of want my song to have that vibe. Is like that. That's
a way that you can kind of give them a basis off of that. But their goal there is to not make it 1-for-1. The best engineers, I apologize about the lighting.
That's okay. I'm going to scoot over a little bit.
Not a problem. The best engineers, they try their best to find you, and they don't try to impose themselves upon you throughout the process of it. But like when I went into the music studio, this would have been 2.5 years ago now, like I had a really good basis, a ground floor of an idea, and I could play and I could sing my section. It only took us 1 or 2 takes to get my part down, but then after that it's like, okay, what else are we going to add to it? And I went, oh, I haven't written any of the other parts to it. So it was kind of creation on the fly. I wanted like a French horn part to it, I wanted a piano part to it, I wanted trumpet, and I had my siblings to help on that regard. But then I was like, okay, I trust them enough to make something, but I don't know any drum patterns or anything like that. So the producer had to bring in his own drum guy, and I was just like, all right, I trust you. Please don't, make it so that your drum beat actually matches the emotion that I'm going for within the song. So that's a wonderful challenge. And as the guild gets bigger, we're going to come in contact with more people that will be willing to help, especially in workshops when it comes to that.
I think there's probably a lot of people in the guild who have experience recording in studios and could even talk to some of us. Maybe we do a workshop with the people who have recorded stuff, and just to tell us like that's one of the things I really like about girl guitar too, right? Like, so to kind of make a parallel. Yeah. So this band that I've joined with girl guitar,
a whirlwind one.
I've never been in a band, right? Like, I don't know the etiquette of where I'm supposed to stand and what chords I'm supposed to bring, whatever. And so without making any of us feel stupid or like newbies, we get explained from the bottom up. So the guild could do the same kind of safe space thing for new people. Like, hey, when you go to the studio, here's some things to know so you don't sound stupid when you go in and start talking to them, right? Or here's the kind of language they're going to use, and here's what it means, and here's what you need to think about. Yeah. Right? Like, so we at Girl Guitar, we get a lot of that, like, hey, here's a bunch of behind the scenes stuff about what all this means, so that if you're out in the wild performing, for example, a lot of people don't know you have to step on the mute switch when you play, right? Like, so I happened to already know that, but there were people who didn't. And so, now whenever those people go out to open mic or whatever, they learned, they look a little bit more professional because they know to step on the mute switch.
On that point, last night we are at a large open mic, and this sweet lady came up and she plugged in, she just decided to play one song, and she did a really good job, but she hadn't been to very many open mics. So as soon as she was done, clapping, she just went boom, and the whole place exploded. But you learn.
But you don't know unless somebody tells you that, right? And so having a safe space of people who will help a new person learn those kinds of etiquette things, like it's invaluable. And I think our guild can offer that in a lot of different ways. But I think for where I'm at, kind of on the cusp of my journey, is I think my next step is I'd like to try having a real recording of something.
Yeah, I guess. You mentioned your goal in 2026 is to get to the recording. Do you have that 5-year plan or 10-year plan? Something that what's the grand thing that you'd like to do?
I don't even know what I want to do. Like, I know what I don't want to necessarily be like a touring artist. Like, that's not my goal. Like, I enjoy my free time too much. Yeah. I like performing once or twice a month, going to the songwriter nights. I really like the writing process. I've really enjoyed that. I'd like to carve out more time to write more stuff. So maybe just writing stuff, and maybe one day Taylor Swift likes one of my breakup songs and wants to record it. Like, I could see writing songs for other people to be the touring artist.
Yeah. To be like a ghostwriter of sorts.
Yeah, I don't even know what it would look like, but yeah, it's not currently in my plan to
I mean, all the
go on tour.
all the big writers have, all the big musicians have scores of writers. So, yeah, I think that's definitely in the cards. I think that can definitely happen. And before we wrap up, if you wanted to just let people know shows that are coming up for you. I know one that just got booked today.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be playing with Joe at Camp Landa on October the 4th, right? And
October
then
the 4th.
The following weekend on I think it's the 11th.
That's
next
right.
Saturday, I have a solo show there.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully nothing has changed with that one.
Nope, that's still there.
I didn't look at I have a website and I have socials that have the schedule on them all the time.
Yep.
So I don't know even when this is going to air, but MelanieBethMusic.com.
MelanieBethMusic.com.
Yeah, that's the website, and there's a schedule button there that you can also see the past places that I have played, both in Florida and here, and a bunch of pictures. And I'm starting to get some videos that I've been able to post on there as well. There's some content. There's also a sample set list of the covers that I know that's on there. Anybody's interested in looking at that. On socials, it's Melanie Beth Music, both on Facebook and Instagram. Those are the only two socials I have. I'm old, so that's the only ones I have. So.
If they were looking for samples of your music, like I need to listen to.
I do have a YouTube channel.
Okay.
It's Melanie Beth Music also, and there's a link to the YouTube channel on the website. There's not a whole lot there. Because, like I said, I haven't really done much recording of the originals. There's some videos from when I was playing in the duo. There's some live practice videos of me doing some of my covers that are very different. So, yeah. So
we have the 4th of October, the 11th of October. Was there any other show?
So I have a girl guitar showcase with the band. That's going to be, I think it's October 26th.
Ooh, wow, it's going to be a busy
Yeah. And there's the Pumpkin Spice Festival.
That's right. You'll be playing in the afternoon there, like right at maybe 11 o'clock. Late morning.
Late morning. And there's and hopefully the ladies songwriter night at Weiner at the Green's Last Call.
Last Call, November 14th. That's a Friday, I believe. And so we're really excited about that. And we couldn't have the event without you, so we're really excited. And man, we're just glad that we're at this time of year that we actually have the ability to book some of our musicians. I thought that it was going to slow down, but it's been ramping up, which I'm very, very happy about.
That's great. Well, I'm very happy to have found the Guild and gotten so many opportunities through the Guild and through you, and the opportunity to learn from you and play with you.
Thank you.
That was really fun, and I'm looking forward to our show on the 4th.
Sounds good.
We'll do the Johnny Cash song.
Johnny Cash, and also Black Horse and the Cherry Tree.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Well, folks, we're going to call it an evening. You can see that the sun is toasting us right here. But anyways, I'm Joe. That's been Melanie. We're going to see you again live soon. And thank you so much for supporting us. Thank you, Jamie, for letting us use your place, as always. All right, we will talk to you later. Bye-bye.